of Moses Ija. You're welcome to the studio, sir.
Welcome, Sele. Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure too. It's important that we actually, look, because as an organization, we cannot talk about growth without looking at the history, because our history is more like our roots. We need to let people know who we are, where we are coming from, and actually where we are headed to, because our history will actually let people know what we really want and how we hope to move further. So I would like to actually start with Mr. Solomon, because being a producer and also being the manager for the Evangel Arts, it's important that we look at some of the history, because just like I said, our history is more like our roots. So would you like to possibly briefly just tell us some of the history story from where we started and where we are presently?
Okay, thank you, Sally. We will say glory be to God, because anyone that does not have history, definitely I think the person doesn't exist. The whole idea of ECWA television started way back 2014, from the birth of the dream. Somebody conceived it, even though not only one person, so many people have their own different idea of what they think like ECWA should do when it comes to issue of media. But for Engineer Tony Nakali, his own standout, and then his proposal was adopted, by the then EE, and they started the work 2014. Gradually they were building until 2017, when everything was set, because you have to do with the technical first and make sure that everything is ready before you think of the manpower people that will manipulate those equipment. So 2017, precisely July 4th, that is when some of us were commissioned. And then I think that time we started, we're about 15 or thereabout, because I know we have 4 producers, we have 3 editors, we have 5 presenters, and then the coordinator himself, which is our president now. Then he was the coordinator of the ECWA TV, and then Engineer Tony J. Nakali was the consultant. Then they were working together, and then we have 1 office assistant, and then 1 the secretary, like Dex officer, so that is the number, then. And then the whole idea then was to come get acquainted to even the equipment, and then the producers get to work, start writing, and then start producing. Then we are not producing live, I think by then we were only handling, I think, 13 to 15 programs then, and it wasn't live. I can remember we have Back to the Hymns, we have Decision Time, we have Virtuous Woman, we have Make It Happen, Christians in Politics, yeah, and some. But after then we went into content generation. That is when all the producers, after the scripting, started generating the content, which you are expected each program you generate a full season, and we did that before the official takeoff, which was 1st June 2018. That is when we started. And then Reverend Stephen Panyababa was our coordinator. Then it was coordinator, not the general manager. And then the few of us, they keep encouraging us to know that yes, some people are coming in the name of just working to earn a living, but we should have it at the back of our mind that this place is a mission field were being chosen out of 4,000 people that applied the first aptitude test. You know, at the end of the day, it was streamlined to 2,000 to 1,008, and then to the few that I mentioned, just I think 15 or thereabout. You see, so that gave us an idea that we are not the best. You understand? You know, when you talk ECWA, but at least God have a reason of choosing few of us to start, and some of us are still here, and some of us are no more. You know, no more in the sense that some people have chosen another part, and then we lost one of our strong producer in the house, in the person of Miss Joyce. May her soul rest in peace. You know, I believe, I didn't mean she's here. This question, I know she will be the one like
actually
to
give us justice,
you know, to, because she was the head of programs, you know, and we will greatly miss her. We greatly miss her. She's a wonderful personality, and she did her own quota. And that take me back to when Reverend Stephen will always tell us, because number one, he told us that, you see, this devotion is part of the work. Because at a point, you know, some people started missing devotion like that. I said, no, devotion is part of the work, because this place is a mission field. You are here to work as missionaries, so you have to sink that at the back of your mind. But gradually, we now pick it. Everybody see the need, because we are. This is a new department in ECWA. ECWA never had a TV station, so like almost the administrative whatever of the department wasn't that smooth, you know, because even the leaders, you know, some of these things, you know, in media, they need swift response. But sometimes you find difficulties in how money comes, you know, for you to execute some of the things. You know, media is per second, you know, it ticks as the clock ticks. That's how you move, you know, with the time. If not, you will not just be relevant. But God helping us. Today we can say we are over 32 our staff, and then we have over 40 programs. And I can tell you that we have the minimum of 5 shows, live shows, minimum of 5 live shows every day. So you can see how everybody, you know, is really going up and down with the help of the general manager, who is up and doing, who always telling us that, yes, see, this thing is a mission work. He picked it up from, you know, his from Reverend Stephen, and he said, yes, we got to do this because this is an assignment and we can't afford to fail. He can't afford to fail as a leader and as followers. You know, everybody is being appointed here with a responsibility, and you are expected to do it and to do it well. And then to God be the glory. You know, we are not doing this alone. People have been supporting, people have been praying for us, and that is the reason why we are where we are right now.
Let me just add
to
what Solu said. I remember when we came, the ECWA president was the coordinator at that time. He said something that is still ringing in my mind. He said, don't work for food that will perish. You should work for food that is everlasting. I didn't understand that what he said at that time, because most of us just came to earn a living. Most of us just came so that we can have something on our table to eat and to move ahead in life. But when he said that, I have to think about that. Meaning that whether with money, without money, with allowance, without allowance, you do this work for the sake of the gospel. The main reason why ECWA TV was created, I know, at that time, was to take out the gospel of Jesus Christ to the unsaved. And one of the easiest ways is through media like this. So he keeps saying that, and that has really encouraged us. When we started, I remember at that time, when he was the coordinator, he kept emphasizing, just like Sodo said, about prayer. We come and say, this man, prayer. Yes, we pray at home, but when we come, let's do. Sure, there was a time he took a prayer of about 1 hour 30 minutes. Yes. So some of us were saying, we are back to church again. We are back to church again. But now we are seeing the effect of that in our life, and that has really helped us to understand that ECWA TV is a cool gospel to reach out to the world.
We really can't talk about the growth without talking about prayer, because the growth ECWA television has recorded thus far, we cannot neglect the part of prayer, because and that is why we always appreciate our supporters, our prayer partners. You know, it's important that we let them know that your prayers have actually moved us forward. Now, in this big dream of from where we started, this big dream is already a reality. We can actually see it. In fact, I think many people, for people who were saying that ECWA TV cannot stand, will be surprised at how far we have actually moved forward. Now, in the establishment of the ECWA television, I am sure there have been some challenges, there have been some setbacks, so many things have actually stand as a roadblock to actually hinder us. So I don't know if you can actually, you know, pinpoint some of those challenges we've actually whether say in the part of technical units or in programs or in the evangel. Definitely there have been certain setbacks, and that is why we're talking about the fundraising, because we're in need of a very big studio, we're in need of trucks to, you know, taking the gospel to other parts of the country. So there are so many things that we actually need, but I would like you to help us or pinpoint some of those setbacks or challenges we've actually encountered. Maybe let's start looking at from the technical part down to the unit, because we need the cameras, we need every other thing to be able to air the programs we have.
To God be the glory, we are where we are today. When I look back, I would say ECWA TV is a faith project. It's a faith project. There are many challenges up till now in ECWA TV, but back then it was worse, because we're trying to see how we can make the station work through, with the help of the general manager at that time. Some of these challenges, like when we started, we were recording, let me go technical now, we are recording on what they call the DSLR cameras. Now these cameras are cameras that you go out, you record, you come back to the studio, and you do what they call the post-production. Now a production that you will record on real time for 30 minutes, when you are doing that on a DSLR camera, it will take you close to a day, close to 24 hours before you'll be able to execute and give them materials for airing. So at that time we were doing that, we were battling with that. I can remember the first talent show we recorded. If the producer can remember the first talent show we recorded that show with 4 cameras or with 5 cameras, I think, DSLR cameras. And at that time we don't have what they call the switcher. Now a switcher is a device or a machine that switch from one camera to the other. We don't have that at that time. We come back to the studio, we go and record outside, come back to the studio, and before we do the post and before we submit. At that time, many of us were sleeping in the studio. We can come to work, you don't even know when you're going back home. At that time, no, when we started. But to God be the glory, today we can say we have the switches that we can do all that. But that is not enough. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this so that people that are hearing us will understand why we are trying to raise the 100 million. I won't say that 100 million will not even be enough for ECWA TV. If you give ECWA TV today 500 million, I am telling you it will finish. Not that we'll squander the money, but we will use it to get equipment, we will use it to build the station, we will use it to do the work of God. Just like the GM will always say, the gospel is free, but taking it out is very, very expensive. Imagine that you are taking the gospel to Rwanda. How do you go to Rwanda? You have to fuel your car, you have to mobilize people, you have to mobilize resources and buy food for people. So you see, it's expensive. So some of these challenges are lack of equipment. Let me give you a scenario. I think January this year, we resume after the Christmas break, we resume, and one of our hefty machine broke down. Our TriCaster machine broke down. We have to wait. It took us a little while before we fix it. If we had 2 of that, we'll have a fallback. We'll go back to it. But because we have only one, we have to stick to that one. We have to try. The general manager has to try before we revive that machine. So we need multiple of that. Do you understand? That is one of the challenges. Another challenge is that we cannot record like programs at the same time because of lack of equipment. Just like the studio where we are now, we need like multiple of them. That we are recording this program, another program is being recorded, another program is being recorded at the same time without having any hitches. Another challenge is manpower. In the technical department, I think editors, we are just 3. Everything you see on air, 3 editors are doing this magic. Though we have the online editors, the soft editors that do the online stuff, but the major editors we are 3. Now 3 editors editing 40 programs. We have about 2 cameramen, a cameraman and 2 cameramen, because the woman is also a cameraman. We have only 2 cameramen. You see, so it's a big challenge. If we have multiple production, we will be able to meet up with the multiple production. Just like more programs are coming on air. So we need like more manpower so that we will keep the station moving. Then we have other technical things that I don't want to mention here, but these are just a few that I will just tell you.
True, and we can see how this lack, or possibly will I call it, because presently right now we don't have that much, because we're going to take it down to the political realm, when we're looking at when political parties were raising, just to buy a single farmland. Some parties went for 100 million, not even being certain whether they're going to win the election or not, and we're needing that same amount and even more, because I believe we can raise more than that. We need even more because we need to advance the gospel. And if you listen attentively to the opening, when Lois said some of the 4-point agenda the ECWA executive have, which is connecting ECWA to God, ECWA to ECWA, ECWA to the one, also mobilizing the gospel, you will know that we cannot actually fulfill that 100% because we've been having one hitches or the other. Now, Mr. Solomon, I would like you to also tell us still, because I know you also encounter some challenge or possibly setbacks that will have, there are more you wish we could have actually, accomplished, but as a result of 1 or 2 of the setbacks, we're not able to move.
Yeah, you see, to add to what he said, broadcasting is not a child's play, and you see, we're a production house and a broadcast house. I don't think you can find that anywhere. You understand what I mean? We are broadcasting, and then we are still doing production. Because some of these media stations that you see, they source materials, they buy, but we generate our content ourselves. And
how many percent do we actually generate in-house?
100%. 100%. I can boldly say that 100% we generate our content. How much would it cost you to generate 1 episode of a content? If you go out there, you ask other TV stations out there that are doing well, they will tell you how much they source one episode of a content. It's really capital intensive. That is why when we started, people feel like this is an elephant project. ECWA TV is just created and then they are just spending money. Particularly those times that we are generating content. Then, because we are into production, then we are generating content. People just feel they are just giving us money, and they are not seeing anything. Though it's not their fault, because there when any media outfit of ECWA, this is just the first. So gradually they begin to understand, and that's why sometimes they will say, "Oh, how do you guys cope? How do you do this?" Now they begin to understand with the little that is being given to us, we are doing all these great things. For instance, if you want to build a set just for one show, the highest you will do is 24 is one season, which is 24 episodes, and then
13 episodes. 13 episode one season.
You understand? 13 episode.
That's one season.
That's one season.
Okay.
You understand? And then you have to crash the program, because even as you build the program, you have to make it appealing. As they are finishing with this, you are thinking you want to upgrade and then add certain things to the program that will even entice people to sit down and watch what you are doing, so that it won't be boring. And you know how much for you to build a set, You know, it costs money. It costs a lot of money. You know, not talk about the set. You talk about costume. That's why sometimes when you are buying wood, you are buying this, and they see and they will say just one concert and you are spending this amount of money. Hello, this is wastage. But no, TV station is not like that. You know, one of the challenge is that, you know, like I tell you, you know, you have to follow. Broadcasting is by second, as the clock tick. Yes, that you follow it like that. If not, you will be outdated. At the end of it, you just see that you are not doing anything. Particularly now with the social media and the rest, people are updating, like all stuff, things are coming out. You have to follow it like that. And then when you look at we are not copying the world, but the world should copy from us when it comes to standard, when it comes to quality, excellence. They should copy from us. When you look at their production, you see it that their production stand out. It's something that you want to watch. Some of the programs is not that you want to watch, but it's because of the quality of the production. Why can't we do the same? But we need money. So sometimes even the little money, you know, for the process to come, you know, there's this some setbacks that it won't allow you to make. But gradually, I can confidently say that I think we have overcome that, because even the Constitution now understands the nature of our work and then is trying to play to our own favor. Because yes, some of these things, once you delay, it affects everything, and it makes you look obsolete, even if you are target. And then you talk about equipment. We need equipment. Like I remember when we started, even the DSLR that you are talking is not ours. We used to hire, and then it was 5,000 naira per day, and maybe a production would take you 5 days, and then 3 camera production, and then you calculate your times at the end of the day. And then GM said, the general manager, Engineer Ton, he said, no, we can't be spending God's money like that. Why can't we have our own? Then we got some hours. Then gradually we start buying certain things like the switcher that he said, doing multiple easing up production, like when you are recording, even if it's not live, but you are switching live. Once you finish, you air it. You know, you can finish your production in the next 1 hour, or in the next 30 or 15 minutes you are airing. And then you have equipment. Like me, for instance, Evangel Art, we don't have equipment. We do hire. But this Evangel Art is another unit that even help us, you know, to even bring more viewers. Because if you look at the production that we do, the shows that we have is all under the unit, and the guys are really doing well. We created that the GM thought it wise to create that unit because of how our artists are out there, you know, no platform. And then he said, bring them in, you know, so that we'll come and then use this platform because we need content. And then I feel when we get that 100 million, that's when you would think of buying our full musical equipment, everything that we want, light and anything, and then a moving vehicle that we transport everything. You know, we started this station without a car. Yes, without a car. And even till now that we are talking, our general manager doesn't have an official car. And most of the things that we have been using, you know, to God be the glory, you know, some of the things are his. You understand? Donating it for God's work. And then he tried to do that so that he will encourage us that everything you have is for God. So sometimes he will say, yes, even if you don't have car to give, or you don't have money to, but you have your time to sacrifice. And that's why you find out sometimes Moses will be going out home 12 o'clock. Some of us, because it's late, we have to sleep here. And then we keep moving. These are some of the challenges. Imagine, I know 100 million, we have members in ECWA that will give us 100 million without them feeling. Because we know there are people that are doing well, swimming in billions. But the thing is that they want to see you spending the money judiciously. You know, they want to see you being prudent with even the money. If you say you want to do this, they want to see it. And that is why I can say today our supporters are increasing, because they are seeing what we are doing. That's why they are asking, how are you guys achieving this? To God be the glory. There are prayers, there are little support, so people can can go to bank and send you 200 naira. And I imagine, is that person trekking, or he used to bought a bike or something, then you go and deposit his own 200 naira into our account. And sometimes I feel, and even us, sometimes we give from our own income too, to support even the cost that we are doing. I'm assuring you, in this 100 million, some people are even donating their salaries for this cost, this 100 million, and whatsoever others can afford. And that's how we do. We pray, we fast together wherever we have a project, and we pray as a family, so that people out there will see what we are doing, and they will believe in us, trust us with their resources, even as we spend it to spread the gospel.
No wonder we on ECWA Television have been able to, not just because I remember clearly when it started, it was just ECWA Television, and it was just in like 120 countries, and then over yet, and then gradually we moved to ECWA Television Africa. We are all over Africa, and as it is right now, because the Lord is doing great, it's actually moving, and presently it's ECWA Television International. We are hoping to also have, possibly look at having applications, looking at how we can, if possible, even be in other countries, having our outlets at other parts of the country, because it's very possible. Now, in this success story, how are we going to, presently, what would be your rating for the success story? Because they need to be rating, because we need to give people reasons why they need to give 100 million. You mentioned clearly, because people need to see this money you're asking for, this money that you want. How sure are we that this money will be channeled in the right direction? And I actually wish we could actually have the audits, so she could have the auditor, so that she could actually let us know. Because I remember the general manager, engineer Tony J. Nakali, stated the fact that the money that is being realized, we are going to let the world know this is what we have realized, this is what we are hoping more to realize. And this is really a way of encouraging people to actually give it. So what would be your rating for the success story thus far?
Well, when you talk about the auditor, now you are talking about prudent spending. I am assuring you, according to ECWA books, I didn't mean we are not prudent. Even when I said sometimes the books are really flexible on us because of how demanding our activities can be. I'm assuring you, some of us wouldn't have been here if we are not prudent, because ECWA, they don't joke with money if you don't spend it well. So by that, for us, all of us from the GM, we are still here. That means we are prudent managers. That means we are spending the money well. So I can say today, like I said, we have over 40 programs. 2 months ago, we got an award, from a reputable organization for online
best social media,
TV, online. Best online TV, right? So that means we are doing well. These people are not ECWA, but they recognize us. Today we have followers on YouTube, we have followers on Facebook. Then we didn't start with that, and very soon those outlets will start even giving us money. And I'm telling you, we're assuring you that with time, ECWA TV will start giving EMS and even ECWA headquarters money. Just wait and see. We are determined, and we will get there.
Of course. Would you like to add up to?
Yeah, I remember, let me just take you back a little.
Okay.
I remember during the commissioning, when the ECWA, then our boss, the ECWA president, then he was our boss, when he mentioned the amount that they used to build ECWA Television, the person that was representing the governor stood up. He was what? I think it was 200 and something million. He said, with that amount, we're able to build a station. He said yes. He even told him that the government should come and learn from us, from ECWA, when it comes to prudent spending. We don't spend money like that. I am telling you, Stella, we don't spend money like that. Every money that we use in ECWA TV, you must give account for it. There are certain things that I don't want to say on this platform when it comes to auditor, checkmating and other things, but we don't spend money like that. Anything you see on this set, some of the things that you see, we go out of our way to create it because there's no money to spend. So some of us, we even multitask. Do you know that most of us that work in ECWA TV, some of us, we are drivers, we are carpenters, iron benders, and all these things. Decorators and even makeup artists. In TV station, normally you have a makeup artist that will come, but you will see a cameraman being the makeup artist. You will see a cameraman driving vehicle to all these places, and when he goes there, he will still do that camera work. So we are multitasking. If we want to spend money, we'll hire these people to do it. But it doesn't bother us. We don't want to spend God money just anyhow, just like Solo said. So we are, I'm saying it again, we are accountable
for every dime.
And any money that will be given to us, I'm assuring you that it will be spent, and you will see it on. That is one thing good thing with ECWA TV. Any money you give us, you see it on air. If you don't see it, then come and question us. But everything that we're saying, okay, we say we're going to buy trucks. We want to build big studios with this money.
Buy stage.
We want to do stage. We want, you know, in short, when we are having the worship the king at Gombe, you know the truck, we have a small truck that just, if you know the distance between Jos and Gombe, the driver will go and come back, park speakers, go and come back. It's hectic. So if we have a big truck that will just pack all this equipment, we don't need to do like that. We don't need to take risks on the road like that. So every money that will be given to us in this anniversary, I'm assuring you that they will see it on air.
So without issue of salary and the rest, you know, running costs and the rest, we spend like 5 million every month to pay the satellite provider, the one that is hosting us. So calculate that and see what we are spending.
True. We can. You see, this is. I think this is a source of encouragement to our supporters to actually see more reasons why we need over 100 million naira, because I would say over, because there's so much to be done for the gospel. So I would like each of you to actually tell us, what does this anniversary mean to ECWA TV at a point like this? Because just like we said, we are 4 years on air, but 5 years in existence. What does this anniversary mean to ECWA television at a time like this?
Okay, at a time like this, not only we just want to host for the dinner, we want to appreciate God for taking us thus far. We want to tell God thank you for seeing us throughout these 4 years. Just like Solo said, we lost one of the producers, which is, we're sad about that, but we give God the glory for that. It means a lot to us, the dinner. We are bringing people of like minds that will come together and see the reason to raise money to support the gospel of Jesus Christ. The worship the king we did at Kaduna, I think we won over how many souls? About
200.
200 souls gave their life to Christ at a spot. The ECWA president is doing a program, Catch the Fire. Many people have been giving their life to Christ through that program, including pastors, ECWA and non-ECWA. So we are bringing these people together. Let them see the reason for this gospel of Jesus Christ to be preached. There are people that can give this money. I know there are people that can just say, take 300 million, just go and manage. They have more than that. So we are doing this so that we will raise funds for the station, so that all these setbacks that we have mentioned can be taken care of without any headache.
True. Yeah. So I don't know if you would like to add up to.
Well, I would say it means a lot to us, because looking back where we are coming from and then where we are, it is a thing, you know, that we should all give thanks to God and then glorify Him for bringing us thus far, like he said. You know, it's just a Thanksgiving, and you know, Sunday we have a concert. You know, that Sunday, a Thanksgiving concert celebrating God's faithfulness. You know, in ECWA TV.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Solomon Sabe, and thank you so much, Moses Ija, for making yourself available and also opening the eyes of not just the viewers, but also I that is actually hosting, to see reasons why I need to be part of this great work that God is doing in ECWA television. Thank you so much to the ECWA executive for, you know, letting us see reasons why we really need to do this, and also to key into the agenda that you have. It's still National Talk on ECWA Television Africa. Until I come your way again next week, do have a blessed weekend ahead. Goodbye for now.